Welcome to Membership Attendant Training, How to Process a Cancellation Form. Okay, so when a member is canceling a 12-month contract, this is when a cancellation form is going to be necessary. It does not automatically stop after 12 months, so this is important that when a member is signing up for a 12-month contract, that we let them know that. Just so they don't feel blindsided and they automatically assume that the membership is going to expire 12 months later, we have to make sure that we let them know that it is going to continue to pull until we file a cancellation form. And this is how we're going to go over processing that. We have a cancellation half sheet to help, and it gives you a step-by-step process on how to go about this, which is really great. Okay, so this is what the cancellation half sheet looks like with regards to the bubbles that I've inputted on the screen. So it gives you, again, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way down to 10. So the first step is to write the account number into the account number box where you can see that number 1 circle. This is going to be their Blazer ID or their member number. So it's very important that you write legibly so we can all read what is going on. Number 2, this is when you're going to count 45 days from that cancellation form submission. So a good trick for that is to click on your calendar and go 6 down and 3 to the right to see what that 45 days would be. So this is super important that you do it from the day that they submit the cancellation form. So you want to make sure that they're handing you the form, that's why it's signed and dated, and everything is completely filled out before we can go ahead and process that. And that's where you're going to put the 45 days in that number 2 spot. Side note, if they are early bird or night owl, so if they're a non-prime member, they have a card on file, they do not apply to the 45-day rule. So they're just going to cancel the first of the next month. So it's very important to realize that early bird and night owl non-prime members do not have to go through the 45 days. They are month to month, so they're just going to cancel on the next first of the month. Also, number 3, so based on the 10th rule, when you do those 45 days to see what their future cancellation date is, you're going to put the date that they cancel up top in that number 3 circle. So if their 45 days falls on April 25th, they're going to cancel May 1st because it's the first of that following month. If their date falls by May 8th, they're going to cancel May 1st because it's before the 10th of May. So these are just important things to note and things that we will always go back over. And if you have any questions, please let us know. Okay, so let's get into number 4 and beyond. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is pull up the member and make sure you write down that account number, the 45 days, the cancellation date, and then you're going to go ahead and click on Last POA where this box is. So when you're looking at their POA, you want to ensure that they have been a member for at least 12 months and that cancellation date falls with that 12 months or after. So they have to be a member for at least 12 months, and if not, they're going to have to pay early termination fees, which is what you see down here. They'll have to pay early termination fees if they do not. So that's the first thing we want to look at. So you're going to go ahead and scroll all the way down to make sure that they have indeed been a member for as long as their contract states. And then you also want to double check to make sure that there is no balance on the account. If there is a balance on the account, they have to go ahead and pay that balance off before we can process this cancellation form. So the cancellation form does not begin to process until they pay off that balance on their account, if they do have one. Then you're going to go ahead and the next step is to click on Status. Once you click on Status, this is what the screen looks like. So you'll see an Update Status 2 with the start date. So what we want to make sure that we're doing is we're paying attention. Number 1, so we're going to go ahead and update that status to canceled. Okay? And then we're going to select the day that they're canceled. So this is going to be that date up here in the top left corner. So that's going to be that May 1st, say, for example. Okay, so you're going to update the status to canceled, and you're going to select May 1st because we want them to be canceled as of that day. So went ahead and selected May 1st, and it should look like this. Then you're going to click Start on this bottom right hand right here. Once you click Start, it's going to pull up any sub-members that they might have on their account. Notice she had a sub-member who's expired. You want to make sure that you change this option to No, unless Isabella was listed on that cancellation form, which she wasn't because she's already expired. But these are little things that you have to pay attention to. So make sure you drop that down to No if necessary. Okay, and then this is what it should look like. So you should have a future status list of canceled on May 1st. So that is what it should look like. And then your next step is going to adjust repetitives. So you want to click on Actions up top here on the tab bar. When you click Actions, you're going to then select AR repetitive entry. And this is what it could look like for a UAB employee 12-month. So notice that the quantity is 999. So this is what we have to adjust. So I'm going to select the repetitive. I'm going to select Edit Repetitive up here on the top right. And then I'm again going to look at that quantity. So the quantity is currently 999. That means she is going to continue to get charged forever until we go ahead and put a stop to it. So we're going to change that quantity to 1. 9 times out of 10, you're going to change it to 1. If we have not ran billing for that month yet, it could potentially be 2, but those are few and far between. 9 times out of 10, you're just going to change that quantity to 1 because we're only charging her for 1 more month before she cancels because of that 45-day rule. So then I'm going to select Save Repetitive up top. And then I can go ahead and leave a note on her account with what we just did. So again, this is step by step on that cancellation half sheet. I'm just going through those steps. So I'm going to click View, Notes, and then I'm going to click Add on this top left right here. Once I click Add, it gives you a drop down, a selection of the subject you would like to input on. So go ahead and select Cancel. And then it tells you on that cancellation half sheet exactly what to write. You're just going to have to change the dates. So cancellation form was submitted on 3/19/20, status changed to canceled as of 5/1/20, reps changed to 1 with your initials. So then you can go ahead and see all of the past notes as well as your current note. So you should always check the POA, check balance, change the status, change the rep, and leave a note. And then number 10 right here is very commonly forgotten. So this is something you always want to make sure you do. Make sure you read through that cancellation sheet, half sheet all the way because it is there to help you, right? So number 10 is added to the cancellation reasons report on the Google Drive. And then once you do that, you're going to initial this line right here. So let's add the individual to the cancellation reasons report on the Google Drive. So this is what it looks like. It's going to ask you what month we're in, their Blazer ID, and the reason why they've canceled with their first and last name as well. And then you're going to go ahead and make sure that you initial this line. And then once you've completed all these steps, you're going to place that cancellation form with the half sheet stapled to it in your supervisor's mailbox. So if you have any questions at all, again, try to use that half sheet as a resource because it is there to help you. But please, please feel free to reach out to your supervisor if you have any questions.